Yeah, thank you for joining us during Healing Mama Co's first parent shower week. If you want to spend the next however many minutes that you would like to tell us about the work that you do, your company, Life After Labor, and the details behind your story. So, Olivia, tell us all about you.
I will. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on here. And I think a parent shower week is exactly what everybody needs right now. Let's focus on the parents. So I'm
Yes.
so happy to be on here. A little bit about myself. I am a postpartum doula and coach, and I own my own business, which is called Life After Labor. The reason why I called it that is kind of a big part of my story and why I do what I do for parents. And the biggest reason for that is I actually worked as a private nanny and a professional nanny, as well as a daycare teacher. I worked at camps. I've been around kids my whole life. And in doing so, I've also been around parents, all different kinds of parents with different parenting styles, different ages, different, couples. So when I saw that, I saw different types of parents, some that were super overwhelmed, some that were very excited to have babies, and some that were a little bit hesitant to maybe start a family or add more children to their family. So I kind of kept that in the back of my mind the entire time that I was working with these families and these beautiful newborns all the way up to teenagers. So I've kind of been in all the different age groups, but specifically with the newborns, I would see such a struggle either adding multiples to your family, because that's a whole different dynamic, or even just beginning the journey of parenthood. There's a lot of blocks in terms of fears, past maybe trauma that you've had from your own parents and your own upbringing. So there were so many factors that came into play, which is why I wanted to start the process of learning. So I became a certified postpartum doula. And then from there, I started working one-to-one with parents who are just becoming parents pretty much for the first time. And what I've noticed with that is that there's a huge gap where everybody prepares you for pregnancy. And there's so many birthing classes. There's so many different types of ways to be prepared for that. And then after baby comes, it's just kind of, you feel like you're almost left a little high and dry. So that made me really, really upset to see these people basically kind of left to figure it out for themselves. And I think as a society, we've thought that that is normal and it's okay. But now we're finally turning a curve here where we realize that's not normal. We need a village. We are meant to have a village of support, and we're meant to have people present us with all different kinds of options, very non-judgmental and evidence-based. So that's what I provide in a very kind of short answer. And I'm a postpartum and coach. So that's my job.
Perfect. And can you share with us what that coaching portion looks like, especially now with COVID? How are you able to interact with your clients?
That's such a great question. So COVID has changed the game for everything. I think any birth worker or birth supporter will say that, the game has been changed. It is heartbreaking to see. So I kind of had to pivot in terms of offering in-person support. And I really found my niche of what I feel is important to offer these parents. And that is the postpartum doula, but as well as coaching. So I've created a virtual plan, which is all virtual, so that I can serve anybody from all over the world, all over North America, wherever you are, I can be with you virtually. So that's fantastic that I've opened it up to anybody. But what I do is I create a personalized postpartum plan with the couple or the parent themselves. And I take a really good long hour to sit down and discuss exactly maybe their fears, their hopes, their dreams, things that they've prepared, maybe things that they haven't prepared for. And we'll discuss that. We'll go over that, and then I'll create them a personalized postpartum plan, which they'll be able to read over together, share with their family, share with their support person. And then after that, there's hourly consults, which are included, so that even after baby comes, it could be 9 months down the road, 4 months down the road, you have questions about teething, sleeping, anything like that, I'll be there. So that's the virtual coaching portion of it.
Amazing. When do you see is that sweet spot for parents to take on going through this postpartum planning?
That is a great question. I think personally, I felt it really can be any time. I've had clients who actually aren't even yet pregnant, They want to get on the same page as parents first. They want to prepare to be parents. So you can do this even if you are planning on growing your family, and in terms you might be going through, taking a while to think about it or going through any type of struggle. So you can really do it at any time. I have clients that do it all the way up until their due date. I suggest kind of anywhere between maybe the 4 and 8 month mark, just to kind of keep it fresh in your mind. But that's kind of the rule of thumb, maybe. But really open to when everybody has time. Sometimes it's not until the end of your third trimester that a light goes off and you realize there's some gaps that I'm missing here, but that's okay too.
Exactly. So by second trimester, start exploring the postpartum planning and how you can be fully prepared as an individual or couple.
Exactly.
Welcome to new parenthood. So exciting. So go ahead. Keep going.
So it's truly an exciting time. It's truly an exciting time.
And have you found that there are expectant, or like you said, people who are not even pregnant yet, that there is that an hour is not enough? Do you find that there are times where they're struggling and it's just like, I need to spend a little bit more time with you? And how do you handle those situations?
And that's absolutely correct. There are so many people that we can't even start to scratch the surface in the hour. And that's why I do the hour, just to talk one-on-one. There's a large intake form that you fill out beforehand so that I can get to know you and your family and some of the specifics that I need to know. We'll do the 1 hour virtual consult. From there, I'll make the plan. And then after that, there's 3 consults that come with the plan. The reason why I've created it like that is just as the package, so that I can put a price on it so that people can feel like it's attainable for them. I really do want it to be attainable for most couples. And I priced it in a way that I can support couples. So that's a huge thing for me, or parents who are doing it on their own. Absolutely perfect too. For anybody wanting after the postpartum plan, they've got it and they feel like they want even more than that, then absolutely I do 30-minute consults, 1 hour consults. And at that time, it can be about any of the topics that they want a little bit more information on.
That is great information. Thank you for clarifying. So you can have Olivia for more than 1 hour. And just to clarify, it comes with 3 consults within your postpartum planning product or service.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. Exciting. So could you share, based on your experience, what has been maybe the top 1, top 3, top 5 blind spots that you see happening more often with new parents and their new baby?
3 biggest blind spots, and I will tell you those for sure. There's 3 big ones. The first one, and not to make it sound scary or anything like that, but the first one is really, if you do have a partner or if you have a support person, which is so important to have somebody in your life who is in your corner and on your team, getting on the same page with that person, discussing topics that may have been awkward, scary to talk about. I will facilitate it. It's like I'm a mediator. I'll get in there and I'll help facilitate those types of conversations. In the postpartum plan, I also have really detailed questions that you probably have not asked each other yet that are really, really important to go over. So that's the big one.
Can you share one? Can you share one of those questions with us, just as like a sneak peek?
One of them is, what kind of parent do you think you would be, and what kind of parent are you? Sometimes I ask that question for people with multiples.
Yeah.
What kind of parent do you hope to be or wish to be or dream to be? And then what kind of parent do you actually think that you are? Like, what is doable for you? If you're really outgoing and love to get on the floor and play with your kid, and you're going to say, I would like to be kind of a calm, cool, collected one, then we have to think about there's kind of a difference between those 2 things. Or if you really want to be the extrovert parent who's very open and talkative, but you yourself at this time, you're not that extroverted and you're not that talkative, then we can start to pinpoint some things of how to open yourself up to conversations with your partner, with your child. So that would be one of them. There's a lot around fears as well, just personal fears that are instilled, and overcoming those fears.
Right. Perfect. Okay, so that's the first. what are the 2 and 3?
I would say 2 would be preparation, and not in terms of pregnancy preparation. Definitely, that's not applicable for everybody, especially if there's adoption and surrogacy and things like that. But preparation in terms of you have read some books, you have taken some classes, and definitely for some people that's doable, and some other people maybe haven't gotten the time. But that's where I come in. I can help decide you as a person and you as a human with a different kind of personality than anybody else in this world might be more suited for this type of class or this type of book. So I can help alleviate some of the overwhelm of I want to be prepared, but I don't know what's best for me. I'm not into Lamaze. I'm not into fitness classes. So can you give me some options on books or virtual classes? So those types of things, I have a lot of resources to be able to provide for them. And the third one would be, it kind of goes with preparation, but it's about products. And this is definitely why Healing Mama is my favorite. The elimination of the overwhelm of products, things that they thought they were going to need, that they thought they had to have to be a good parent. You know, so much is out there in terms of such a variety of different products. And there is, again, a lot of overwhelm about what exactly is it that I need. They're not even going to be in their crib for X amount of months. So having open conversations about what you truly do need and what you can wait on maybe for a little while.
That is so important. I as a parent, I do need to tell you that the overwhelm is extremely real. That's one of the many reasons why Healing Mama Co was created in the first place, was to eliminate, or as much as possible decrease, that amount of overwhelming by being very straightforward and blunt about what it is that is going to be needed, and what are the bells and whistles, what are the things that are nice to have, but these are your essential core products and tools to have you thrive through your childbirth and then through to your postpartum care. Because it's true what you mentioned, the overwhelm is real. Where do I begin? Who can I go to give me the information that I need to hear? Because the I is important. It's the most important part of this whole question, or the whole circumstance, is what is it that I'm gonna gravitate to, and who's gonna support me through this entire journey so that it makes sense to me, so that I'm not overwhelmed anymore, that I can have a sense of calm.
Yes.
To a degree. I mean, this is especially if it's a brand new parent who's never done this before, there's going to be moments of fear and overwhelm, but the underlying can be from a place of joy, from a place of calm, because the unknown is the unknown. We can't give you all the answers, but we can give you as much as what's available right now.
Exactly.
So your postpartum services and coaching is so key in having parents have that calm, that confidence, that joy, that additional joy, because it really does get crazy in that first month. It's just so crazy. And as the woman who is still flowing with all of the pregnancy and birthing hormones, like, everything is a mess. But it doesn't mean that you have to be a mess. Like, your physicality is a mess. Doesn't mean that you as a being can be in. Services like Olivia can help give you that roadmap to navigate through the overwhelm.
That's exactly. And I'm able to meet you where you are at. You don't have to be shy about, you haven't read any books. That is perfectly okay.
I didn't read any
tell you that it's okay. Exactly. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's going to be okay.
Exactly.
Okay, you bought all those books. It's going to be okay. I'm going to meet you where you're at. We're going to discover for you and your family where there are some gaps, and we're going to pinpoint those, laser focus on those, because like we said, there are those certain things where we can pinpoint and reduce the overwhelm on the most important subjects. We don't need to get, nitpicky about the little tiny, very certain methods or this. It has to be such a free flowing conversation with the person and the client, and meet them where they're at. So that's my favorite part, of seeing all of these beautiful parents to be start to think about, wow, I'm going to be a parent and I'm going to have a child, and I'm going to create a family that I've always dreamed of. So where do I start with that?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And is there anything that you would say to a couple to prepare ahead of time, or individual to prepare ahead of time, outside of your intake form? Is there anything else that they need to bring to the table for a
No,
session with you?
no, and I want it to be very peaceful, very low stress. And that's the thing. Right now, more than ever, what do we all need? We need as low stress, as easy as possible. So it also makes it a lot easier. I find that it is virtual. I mean, we've all gotten used to the virtual. We all know that we can have success virtually. So, a person doesn't have to head out in the winter months, especially when you're pregnant, and go driving around town and go meet somewhere. So you can be in the comfort of your own home, and I'm just going to meet you where you're at, and we're going to have a really, really open conversation.
Perfect. Have you had any sessions with other siblings before, in that, let's say it's a veteran parent, expectant parent who's got older children? Have you had any siblings come into a session, or how are you able to support veteran expectant parents?
So good. I haven't had any of them come on. I think the parents just want a little bit of peace and quiet, but if they did, that's absolutely totally fine. I would love it.
Yeah.
But you definitely hit the nail on the head with the older siblings. You can find that a lot of the conversation does actually go to the older siblings. So I do have training in toddlers and older children. I've read a lot of books. I've had a lot of hands-on experience. And we do talk about older sibling preparation. That's a very big part of the conversation for multiples, because there will be unexpected behaviors and unexpected emotions that do come up for everybody involved. And so we're going to talk about that so we can prepare for that and not be surprised when it happens.
Right. What would you say is a key part of planning with older siblings or multiple children?
The biggest part is just really easing into it. You've eased into it if you had a pregnancy for many months, so you've gotten the time to ease into it. It's not going to happen overnight that someone is going to magically become a big brother or big sister. They do kind of magically come that way overnight, but not mentally, especially depending on the age, especially with the 2 under 2 crowd. That is, hats off to everybody doing it, because you know how difficult it is, and you know that it is definitely an interesting time, and this too shall pass. But with that, it is. I think that for a lot of people, and especially for my clients, they are the type where I want to hear it, tell it to me straight, so that I can feel prepared. Don't beat around the bush with what my toddler's behaviors might be when little baby comes. So I don't beat around the bush. I will be honest about some of the behaviors and some of the emotions that come up for toddlers and older children. So I think just being honest and open and willing to foresee that that's okay. That is really okay. And it's going to be a process. Some kids bounce into it really quick, and others just need a little bit of time before baby's really feeling a part of the dynamic.
Got it. No, it's really good to know, because yeah, it's a change for siblings, and that's something that needs to be taken into consideration in postpartum planning, rather than like, hey, surprise, guess what? We're having another child. Here you go. Here's your brother or your sister.
Yeah, it's probably very alarming. And like we said, some are able to really niche right into it, and they're very happy to be a big brother or big sister, and others just need the time and the patience and the one-on-one preparation first.
Yeah, got it. And so, when, in your eyes, would be a good idea to tell your older child that you're expecting?
As soon as possible. As soon as you feel comfortable.
Right.
Even prior to that, just like I do help some parents who haven't yet actually, conceived a child or adopted a child, etc. So many different ways to become a parent. But just like I am able to help some of those parents, I say to my other clients that this can start early on. If you are anticipating multiples, then why not just start now before you're even pregnant? Start getting some books. There's so many good books that are out there, and I include that in my postpartum plan if that person is planning on having multiples in their life. So many good books, pointing out parents and pointing out different kinds of family dynamics, like, oh, look, they have a little brother. Oh, look, they have two little brothers and a little sister. Pointing it out, not everything that they're going to see is going to make sense. They might not understand that that person has a little brother and a little sister. So pointing those things out in advance is really helpful. And then if your friends and your family explaining, this person is pregnant, look, this is where babies come from. So there can be a lot of preparation way before you even have your second or third child.
Right. Yes, that makes complete sense. And great suggestions as well. And could you share any other bits of golden nuggets for our expectant parents that you need to know this? Outside of everything we talked about, you also need to know this. And it is, go ahead.
That you can do this. That 100% you can do this. And that some of the fears are so easily to overcome with just some preparation and support. That these fears do not need to manifest into anything more than just a thought. It's just a thought. If you have somebody in your life like myself or anybody else, you are able to be supported. And we can talk about those things to reduce the overwhelm and the fear and really be confident and prepared. So one of my philosophies is that you can do this, and that you have so much more strength in you than what you could possibly imagine. And that let the thoughts go and just focus on the kind of family that you want to have.
Right. Got it. Beautiful. Thank you. So I want to share with our audience that Olivia from Life After Labor is going to be giving away one private session of her postpartum planning with a lucky couple or expectant parent. So all the details of how to enter has already been shared with you. So just follow those details of how to enter. And we are excited to announce on Friday who the lucky winner is for a one-on-one private session with Olivia, Life After Labor, for her postpartum planning. It's going to be awesome.
So excited for that person. It's going to be amazing.
It'll be so fun. And if you can share with everybody how they can get a hold of you, how they can contact you, share it with us.
Amazing. You can go to www.lifeafterlabor.com. You can read a little bit more about me, what I do, how we can work together. You can also go on my Instagram, which is @lifeafterlabor, and you can find me there too. Just message me on any platform that works for you.
And you can also find Life After Labor through the Healing Mama Co. platform. Go to Meet Our Family and you will see the Life After Labor logo there. Click on that and you will be directed directly to Olivia's amazing practice. So I'm going to end with one quick plug. So is there a product, system, or bundle that you love or consider a favorite that Healing Mama Co. has?
It has to be the postpartum.
The rejuvenation system.
Either the essential or the ultimate. I mean, start with the essential. That is why it's called essential. And my clients definitely hear about it, know about it, and support it 100% because it works. And it has the things in it that you truly need. Like we said, reduce all of the people who are trying to tell you what you need and look at this and realize that it truly has been so well thought out. It is so intentional, and that's the most important thing. It's been created with you in mind.
Thank you so much for that. We completely appreciate it and love that you are a part of the Healing Mama family. And we're excited to grow our shared communities together and You will definitely see more Olivia here on our platform. Otherwise, go follow Olivia. She shares some great information. And if you, for some reason, can't get a hold of Olivia, send us an email at hello@healingmamaco.com, and then we will get in touch with her on your behalf. All right,
Amazing.
Olivia, thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of Healing Mama's Parent Shower Week.
Yes, love it. Go shower, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.